said, we'll come in tonight if there's no question or comment coming up to this point. We'll start tonight with verse 20. And
behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live?
You know, here it is. Lot is pleading for the right to escape to a city nearby. But this city was a city to be destroyed with Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, it's pitiful, it's sorrowful. How sorrowful a person Lot had become. He was begging to stay close to Sodom, to the comfort of the world he had known. Remember, Lot was a wealthy businessman with large herds and holdings. Perhaps he thought his herd might be spared. After all, they were outside the city. If he could get God to spare Zer and let him live there. Whatever the case, Lot was still trying to hold on to the world, to its possessions, to its comforts, to hold on even after God had just done so much for him. And Lot was very aware of the mercy God was showing him. He clearly said that in verse 19. And here it is, he's begging now to go to the city that was to be destroyed. You know, and it shows us how we can get so far sometimes away from God, even though we might believe that God he had died for our sins and we're saved by faith because we have faith in him. But we need to make sure that this faith is in God, because we know for sure when our faith is showing the fruit that God wanted us to show, we know where our faith is. But when we're having faith with no fruit, or compromising faith, or what we call dead faith, that means that who can tell that you really belong to God when we cannot see it in your life? And this is what has happened to Lot. And here it is, Lot's children didn't even believe in him. And now he's outside of the city after being drugged out. He had to take him out. He had to take his daughters out. The angels did. Had to take his wife out. And he's still trying to figure out, how can I just hold on to just a little bit of this world? And we're going to find out as we go on. Lot is a good example to us, because the things that we are trying to hold on to, the Bible is showing us those things that we're going to lose. This is why he tells us to build our treasures in heaven, where moths and thieves can't get to them. Is there any question or comment? If not, let's take 21 and 22 and tie them together. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for which thou hast spoken. Has thee escaped thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore, the name of this city was called Zoar. So God now accepted Lot's choice. He was allowed to live in Zoar and to continue living a worldly, carnal life. God pleaded no more. He gave Lot up to his life of carnalness and worldliness. But God went ahead and saved Lot. He saved him because of the prayers of Abraham. The scripture tells us the prayers of the righteous, they avail as much. And this is why even us as parents, even when we have children that's going astray, we have to keep praying for them. No matter what, because God is a God that can do anything. But here it is, God don't make us. That's the thing with God. He's so loving, so merciful. He don't make us do anything. See, God wants us to want to do it. And that's what we should be wanting, to love God, to obey God, and to do as he said. God accepted thee concerning this thing also. You want to stay in the city? You know, and that's the way God will do us. Sometimes we can keep pleading for something that God is taking away from us, or he's trying to keep us away from us. But we just keep. He said, okay, that's what you want. And that's what he's done here with life. So he saved the city because of Lot. And Lot is saved because of the prayer of Abraham. So you see that even the angel said, I can't do nothing till you get out of here. For the simple reason that the Father directed me to hear that prayer of Abraham. So this is why Lot had to get out of the city before anything could be done. Any question or comment? Yes, ma'am.
So Lot had to basically be dragged out of the city. He didn't want to leave, even though God don't, make us do anything. But with Lot, he was sort of, I guess, hard. He didn't want to hold on to the world. That he just had to get him by hand and go, come on out of here, like you got to come out. And I guess he came to his senses as he was bringing them out. He still wanted to hold on.
Hold on. You see, even though, remember now, the angels brought them outside of the city. Once they got outside of the city, the angels turned them loose. So here it is, Lot still thinking about my wealth. This is the stuff that his mind was on, his wealth. His mind was on his position that he had, his title. His mind was on how people had elevated him and how people looked up to him. And sometimes these are the things that's so hard to give up when you've been put into a position where, you go into a place and people know your name. They want you to sit in special places. They got special seats for you. Even when they out of something, they got something special just for you. And when you get into positions like this, sometimes it's hard to give up those titles and give up those positions. This is why we have so many people when they get in office. They die. They don't, 90 years old, they still trying to hold on to a position because the position they looked up on his power. You had your hand up?
Yeah, the angel had already be like giving, just like he said, well, we can't do nothing until we get you out of here. So they had already had instruction not to destroy Lot. It seemed like no matter what he did, because it seemed like he ain't want to get out of there. When they had to grab him by the hand and grab him and his wife and his daughters and all of them, and then there's like when he told, when he went in the city, trying to tell his other daughters and son-in-law, the city finna be destroyed. And that ain't nobody was like, well, come on, Dad, heard what they said, that let go. And it was all of them were like still want to stay. And then when the angel said, we can't do nothing until we get you out of here, they had already be given the instruction when they got them that y'all got to get a lot out of there before y'all do anything. Because it was the angels, it was just them two. When they got there, they had already had to know what they were gonna do. As far as getting Lot out of there and whoever that was with Lot in his household. Because that was just in his household. That was everybody in his house.
Yeah, correct.
And I see if his sister and the other one, the married one, and they, their husband would have been in their house. They probably would have got drawn out too, snatched out too. But it was just everybody that was in his house.
In the household. Lot and his household. But remember, the angels told Lot, if there was in other families, so you go get them. But they just wouldn't come. And remember what the angels
that's what I'm saying. But they ain't dragged the rest of them out. They just dragged the ones that was in the house.
The household. Remember now, the ones in the household, they looked up on more as children. The one that was living in their own place, they looked up on as being adults. And the wife was connected to Lot. So this is why the angel, because of Lot, his wife connected to him. The two children is living in the household. They're not out on their own. So here it is, the family. God is bringing out to save his family. But now the family also still have a free will. As we look on through here, we're going to find out what disobedience does, no matter who you connected to. Any other question or comment? What verse did we start with? 22, wasn't it? Let's hit 23.
The sun was risen up the earth. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar.
So here it is. It's becoming morning here. The sun coming up. The compromising believer lost everything. Lot lost his home, his possessions, his wealth. But most tragic of all, he lost all of his family except 2 unmarried daughters. He had trusted the world, and now his world was gone. When he's, verse 23, the sun to come up. They done entered into the city. Verse 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. The deprived unbeliever now is judged. All unbelievers will be judged. They suffer the condemnation of fire and brimstone. That is suffer. 4 cities are actually destroyed. All the cities of the area of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admon, and Zebulun. Only Zoar was spared, and it was spared because of life. The Lord himself rained the fire and brimstone and sulfur down upon the city. That is, God caused the judgment. The fire and brimstone are said twice to have come from the Lord. And this is a symbolic way of us seeing the same destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah is the same destruction that's going to be at the end. Fire and brimstone, what it talks about in the book of Revelation. So the fire and brimstone is the judgment. At the end of everything, we're going to be separated from God. He said there ain't going to be torment. We're going to be cast in the lake of fire. This is what God is showing us right now, what sin and disobedience do. It also is showing us, even as believers, you see, the reason that a lot of believers are backsliding believers or believers that have dead faith is because they are still holding on to the stuff, the things. They still want the wealth of the world. They still want the positions of the world. They still want the titles of the world. They still want the prestige of the world. And what God is showing us right here, Lot done had opportunity after opportunity for wealth. He's seeing his uncle is wealthy, and his uncle is following God. But he decided to take the role of following the word. And now at the end of everything, all his life now, he done worked and built up and planted and built up and in position and title. And now all of a sudden, bang! You ain't got nothing. And this is the same thing that's going to happen again. It's going to happen to us. We want to pack all of our money into the banks. We want to make sure that we got our pensions. We want to make sure that we have all of the things of the world. But what you going to do if they close the bank down and you can't get your money? You got it in the bank, but the bank shit. What you going to do? Break it in and get it? So what are you now? You're broke. There's going to come a time when your money is not going to be any good to you. These are the things that we're running behind. His family was destroyed in the city. They made it out the city, but guess what? At the end of the day, we found out Lot broke. The stuff that he want to hold on to, you don't have it anymore. You know, it's bad to go to bed, just say you're a millionaire, and wake up the next morning and don't have anything. And the average person would say, that's impossible there, man. You ain't going to go to bed one night a millionaire and wake up the next morning broke. Well, I'm here to tell you, the Lord has spared me long enough to have seen, not heard about it, but to see millionaires went to bed one night and woke up the next morning and were broke. The things of this world is temporary. And this is the stuff that we need to get, but that's the thing that seems like I got to have this. God done told us. All of it belongs to me. If you just seek me first, I'm a witness. I'm not telling you what I hear. I'm telling you what I know. I know God will open up the window of heaven. Your storehouse won't hold. I'm not telling you what somebody told me about that. I'm telling you what I know God will do. If we seek God first and his kingdom, do you think that the Father going to hold back from his children? He's just like we are. You don't want to hold back from your, matter of fact, you'll go home to make sure they can wear the same type of clothes. You'll go home. You need something. but you'll go back for them for you will yourself. But our God is a God that has everything. And if he has everything, don't you know he is able to give unto those that belong to him anything? David said, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not even want. Can you imagine being in a position not even want? He give you the desires of your heart, but the thing about it is, when that happens, your heart is right. And you know what? When your heart is right, the things that you think that you will be desiring, you won't be desiring anything. God already knows that. Your mind been renewed. You see, your mind is not on the physical anymore, it's on the spiritual. It's not on the temporary, it's on the eternal. And this is the thing with God is, see, God is so good that he can start giving you some of your eternal thing right now. This stuff of the world, it all belongs to him. Psalm 24, the earth is mine, the fullness thereof, all that dwell therein, everything belongs to God. If we would seek God first, you know, if we look around, we make gods out of people. Shows us something else. It don't make no difference who a person is, or what they have, or what title they have. God do not discriminate. Death come at the rich as well as the poor. He come at the black, the white, the green, the yellow, the purple. It don't make no difference about your color or your skin. Death do not discriminate. Heaven is hell and real. And believe it or not, don't matter what kind of title you have over here, if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, hell will be your home. I don't care if you're the president or you sleeping on the street. It don't matter. Any other question or comment?
Yeah, I just want to point out that that part where it said the sun, when the sun was risen, like that was like early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
He just rained down early, like you barely getting up out your bed early in the morning. They raining brimstone and fire.
And think about this. I'm glad you said that, Brother Forte. Think about how many people sleep and wake up to death. You ain't over here no more. So you got where you wake up at. Where the rich man, from what the scripture said, he woke up in torment. You think about it. The people in Sodom and Gomorrah, those cities around there, when they woke up that morning, they were waking up in torment. Fire and brimstone falling everywhere. Where you gonna run to? If the inside is falling through inside, you go outside, it's falling on you. Ain't nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Everything is burning up. No rest for the weary, or no rest for the disobedient. No rest for the unbeliever. Because that's what we're talking about today. The judgment, remember God gave them opportunity. He sent the angels down there to inspect the place. The angels go down and inspect. They say, oh, we want y'all. Look at us today. Just look at the world around us. That's all we got to do is just look. The problem is the people that's in the world see it, but they don't know what they're looking at. Us as believers, we see it and we should know what we're looking at. And it should inspire us to even go all in more with preparing for an eternity. Christ is preparing a place for us. We're supposed to be getting prepared to go to the place. It's kind of like going to a big banquet or a ball or something. But when you get there, you'll notice wherever they're having it at, it's already decorated. Sometimes you'll walk in and say, oh, this is so beautiful. But guess what? Before you got there to the place that was prepared, you left away from home doing what? Getting prepared to go there. How do you, when you go into a banquet or ball or something, you don't go in your work clothes. They nasty.
Yes.
You go and wash up. You put on your nice clothes. You put on your good smell good.
Fresh.
You get your hair done pretty. You brush your teeth so they place, that's the first thing we start to look at, how beautiful it is. You say, oh, somebody did a lot of decorating around here. Look at how beautiful this is. Well, Jesus said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. What is he doing? He's beautifying the place. So what are we supposed to be doing? Getting ready to go to the place. Any question or comment?
I got one more question on that. What the Zoar place? So they didn't destroy Zoar just because he said he wanted to go there?
God is a God that's merciful. Remember, he's done this for Abraham. See, the thing with God is, when he give you his word, he gonna stick by it, no matter what. And because Abraham's heart was desiring what he once thought, or raised like a son, God knew how it would turn on Abram's heart. I give you the desires of your heart. I shall not want. God said, I'm going to hear you. See, Zer, that name itself, you know what it means? It means little. Zer means little. It was a small town.
A little sin.
That's what we look at sometimes, isn't it? Small town. That means, well, Lord, if you let me go over here with a little town, that it ain't as bad as the rest of it.
It's just a little bit.
But guess what? It's still a sinful place. But guess what God said? You know what? That's where you want to go. You see, let me show you something. When God, in other words, said that's where you want to go, okay, you're going on over there. God was actually turning him over right there. You remember in the scripture where it says in Romans, you turn you over to a reprobate mind? This is what God was doing to life right here. Okay, life. You just, okay, that's where you want to go over here. Go on over there. I ain't gonna even destroy. Go over there. That's the type God he is. He will allow us to have exactly what we want. Any other question or comment? But you know that should be encouraging too.
Yes.
Just make sure that your heart right when you want it. That's a good thing. Make sure the heart right when you want it. Any other question or comment? What verse was that? 23, 24?
23. 23.
No, I read 24. I read 24. So we'll do 25.
And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground.
He turned it into a desert place. Grass wouldn't even grow. When God got them with grass wouldn't grow. Now y'all need to get this. A lot hanging around because he worried about a herd that he might make some money off. He worried about, because they wasn't in the city. Look what the scripture saying right there. He said, verse 25, overthrow those cities and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the city, that which grew up on the ground. If you ain't even have grass to grow there. And as we get further, keep that in mind right there now, that not even grass grew there. Because the reason I want you to put a pin in that, because a little later on, we're going to bring that back up to you with Mr. Abraham. See, now note that the Lord overthrew the city. The idea of overthrow is that the people standing against God, standing up in his face, cursing him, standing up against him in all their immorality, lawlessness, and rebellion. Consequently, God had to overthrow them, cast them down in judgment. How like the world today. Just think of the people within every city who stands against God and curse him, rebel against him, commit immorality or lawlessness. The day is coming when God has to overthrow the cities of the earth, when he has to cast them down into judgment. God is going to judge every one of us. whether we are believers or unbelievers. But the believer judgment is different. You see, the believer not going to be judged because of sin. The believer going to be judged for what he don't do. Mm-hmm. That's our judgment. What we didn't do. We're going to be rewarded for what we do. That's why he's going to bring out a reward and anything. There's one place that you can work hard and you ain't got to worry about is you going to be done right.
You get paid.
You going to get paid. But the thing about it is, he's a just God. He's a fair God. You going to get exactly what's coming to you, man. You can't look at what somebody else got. You going to get what's coming to you, small or great. That's why it's so important. If I want to have the possessions of this world, man, I want to have the possession of eternity 1,000 times more. Do you know why? You see, you can look at folks today, and I can be up. Something happened in my life, and tomorrow all of it gone. Everything.
So.
Everything. But guess what? In heaven, eternal. The wealth will be eternal. You ain't got the word. It's eternal. No end to it. It's eternal. You know, I mean, that should encourage you. The overthrow of the city. All the plain. Okay, like, there go your all of your herds, all of the inhabitants of the city. Every person that was living in those cities, they were destroyed. And that which grew up on the ground, you're not going to have a piece of grass grow over you. Lot just watch everything he done put his heart into.
Open flame.
I want us to think about something. God has been showing us the same thing today, and people have not been seeing it. When you see these fires and things like in California,
can't put them out.
People, I have seen the richest people living out there on the side of them hills. God brought them down to have them sleep down there with the poor folk on cots. They saying these words, I lost everything. We have lost everything. All of your riches gone just that quick. Now that's something to think about it. I mean, it's gone that quick. You know, it's kind of like a person if you left home, your house catch on fire. Your car next to the house. You done hid the money in the house.
Yes.
And you go back home, your house gone, all the money gone, your jewelry that was in the house was melted down and you can't find it. I mean, your car done got burned up, your clothes gone, and you look around and say, I have worked my whole life to gain this, and I've lost it all overnight. This is why it's so important for us to make sure that we build our treasures in heaven. And I'm going to tell you something else about that. You see, when you build your treasures in heaven, even though you might not have no insurance, but you got the best insurance. Do you know why? Yes. Because you got him watching over what he done gave you. I need to do that again, though. He watching over what he done gave you. Yes, ma'am.
It was strange that you talking about this. I had a couple came in with Jackson Monday, and I was talking to him, whatever, and they just started crying. I didn't even know the reason why she was crying, so it was like I was drawn to go out there and talk to him after they got their food. So I'm out there talking to him. I started talking to the husband first. She was in the restaurant. I was just asking how they doing or whatever in the lobby. And he told me, he said, I don't know the reason you came out here talking to me, but I'm glad you're talking to me. He said his house had burnt down. He lived in Fort Gaines. He lost everything. and he had 2 inside dogs. He lost them, but he managed to keep his 4 dogs outside. But he said the most amazing thing about it is I didn't lose my relationship with God. And I mean, it just struck me like, wow. Like this man said he lost everything. He said and then he said another amazing thing about it is some people bought them some clothes. And he said it looked like the clothes they gave him, the same clothes he had in his closet. He said it was the exact same clothes he had in his closet. So I kind of like, it was meant for me to go out there and talk to him. You know, it just drawn me because it was just, when he said he lost everything, but he didn't lose his relationship with God, that was just amazing to me.
We have to keep this in mind. That gentleman, he passed the test. And he passed it in flying colors. You see, God allows us to be tested. A test is supposed to bring out the best in you. That's what that gentleman was showing you. When he said, I lost everything, but I ain't lost my relationship with God. And then God turned around and said, because you ain't lost your relationship with, because you still love me, look, I'm going to give you your stuff back. I'm going to show you something that you will not believe. To say the same stuff. Wait a minute, that's burned up. I know that can't be God, but with God, all things are possible. With man, some things are possible. Now, temptation, on the other hand, we need to know the difference between temptation and testing. Temptation comes from Satan, and that is to bring the worst out of you. Now, when you're tempted, and you want to act out, oh, Satan, you're a lie. I know that's you. So you try to bring the worst out of me. But the test comes from God, and that's to bring the best out of you. The test that he went through is bringing the best out of him, and that best that is coming out of him going to be a blessing to a whole lot of people around him. It's going to be some people that are going to come to Christ because of his testimony and to say, I done lost everything, but I got the most important thing, and that is my relationship with God. Now that's flying colors. It ain't many people can do that. You know what the average person, instead of saying what he said, Lord, why me, Lord, why you take my Lord? You know I try my best, Lord. I go to church every Sunday. I do this and I do that. God knows what we do. We don't have to tell him. Sometimes when we're going through it, we should, matter of fact, the scripture said we should rejoice when we're going through diverse temptations. Listen to that. Diverse temptations. That means many at one time. Temptations come from Satan. We have to pass them in flying colors and rejoice when we're going through. Why should we rejoice? Because victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Why that? Because God gave me the victory. I don't have to worry about it. When we can start to look at our trial, whatever it might be, and start looking at it and say, victory is mine. God that gave me this victory. Talk to them sometime. We got to learn how to, when they come on, God that gave us power. Do you know one of our biggest problems? It's just like being in the military, because we are. It's just a spiritual armor. You got your weapon. You've been trained with your weapon. We getting you ready for the battle. You done went through the course of all of your little training. You got everything down packed. We take you to the battle, and when they start to shooting at you, you go put your gun down. Man, the folks shooting at me. I don't know who they think they is shooting. I done got mad. I done thrown my weapon down. Now, what kind of a soldier you finna be? Because they shooting at you. Don't you know the devil is always shooting at us? Fiery dots is coming from everywhere. From without and within.
Yes, Lord.
So we need to start talking to them sometime. Devil, you lie. Victory. Heal me. Says the Lord. God said. But now let's get on to any other question or comment? Verse 26, we're going to have to hit it real quick, y'all. Because they're going to be rich. Real stuff. It said, but his wife looked back. Now, see, y'all need to get this. So many times, as believers, instead of us keeping our eye in the front of us, guess what we go to do? Looking back. God have him now. He that way. Well, y'all didn't get that, did you? Now you did. What was I doing when I looked back?
Slowing down.
Say it again.
Stop.
Turn away from who? Lord. That's what she checked. This is what he's showing. When you turn away from me, there is consequences for turning away. Because in order to look back, let me do it again. All right, I'm looking at you. What you see now?
Back your lead.
So what did I just turn on? I turned my back to you, did
Yes.
So you see, God is look what he doing. He's bringing them out. He's saying, come on to me. She said, what is she looking back for? She looking back, she said, oh, people used to recognize me back there. When I went places, they opened doors for me. When my husband, the money, all the power, all these things that the world was leaving, all of this, looking back. And because she looked back now, it said, look back from behind him. Now, watch this. She should have been up there with her husband. Yes. Instead of being up there with her husband, she dragged. Yeah. That's what she was doing, dragging. Now, I want you to see something else. You see, as believers, every one of us got to stand before the Lord for ourselves. Now, if your spouse want to look back, you know what you need to be keeping? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But I got to go this way. Now, watch this thing. And the more, see, it started with her, first of all, starting to think about it. They going, they walking, they side by side. She started thinking about all of the things she leave behind. She started walking a little slow. Lot ain't slow down.
Yes.
She started walking a little slow. Now watch this thing. Lot actually don't know she back here. Why you think Lot don't know she back here? What did God tell him not to do?
Look back.
So now, what do you have to do to see where she is?
Look back.
I'm sorry, I ain't looking back. God told me to come straight ahead. Now, after she done started dragging behind him, he going on. She said, you know what? And that right there, what good man, come on. When she turned away from God. And she turned away from God, the way she was traveling, turned back to the world that he was bringing her away from. It said now, from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Just all it was said. Yeah, but Lot still don't know. Only thing Lot know when he got it. Where your mom at? Guess what the girl said? I don't know, Dad. She fell behind me. The other son, what? She fell behind me too. I thought she was right behind me. Ain't nobody look back. Whoa. We ain't got time to be looking back for people who want to look back. Can y'all see that? We got time for that. We got to be like Jesus was. We got to be about our Father's business. We got time to be looking back. I know what's back there. That's what I'm coming away from. That's the same way it is with my life in the world. What am I looking back there for? That stuff I did back then, that's gone. I done turned from that. What I look like back out here doing the exact same thing I used to do when I turned from. That's looking back. God got a greater plan for me now. That's old stuff. He said he got new stuff for me. And I find it to be true. I don't have to wonder. I'm not telling you when you turn from this, turn away from it, you're starting anew. Remember this. The old things will pass away. All things become new. Watch this. When it becomes new, you're starting over. When you start over, you're going to suffer some.
Yes.
Because you got to start back from zero again a million ways. But God will bless you with everything you need to do whatever it is that you need. I ain't telling you what I think. I remember one, I was at my house. Life would change. Money slow. I went to church that Sunday. I had one $10 bill. I had an already said, Lord, I'm gonna give you half of it. That Sunday I said, oh yeah. When they time for me to go to the collection plate, yeah, what the Lord told me.
Put all in there.
Put it all in there. That's exactly what he said. And I started mumbling from that bit
Lord, you know
all the way up there. I said, Lord, this I ain't got nothing but this $10. I said, Lord, I want to give you half. I need $5 for gas. You know, working on the car. You know what I mean? I need to be able to go to the parts store. Like God said, I done told you, I ain't got nothing to say. I was steady talking all the way up there. He ain't opened his mouth to me. When I got there, I dropped that teeth. I went on back to my seat.
Mumbling.
I went to the seat and I said, Lord, I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got nothing.
I'm leaning on you. The next day, I was at the shop. Nobody coming around. Looked like to make me a few dollars. Guy pulled up. He said, man, we got to talk. I had two old rims laying over by the shop. He looked at me, he said, what you gonna do with them rims? I said, nothing. I'm actually finna if he said he wanted them, I'm finna give them to him. He said, man, I need them rims. I said, well, you can get them. He said, I'll give you $50 for them. I said, man, let me get these rims. I rushed over there and grabbed them, put them in it. Before he changed his mind, when he left, the Lord spoke to me. He said, I'll supply. He said, I'll supply all of your needs. You see, I was trying to hold on to $5 when God said, I got 50 for you. All I want you to do is give it all to me. Is it easy?
No.
Walking by faith ain't easy. Because walking by faith, I can't see my way, Lord. He said, I know you can't, but I can. Just hold on to me. I'm going to take care of you. And then one thing I can say like David once said, I once was young, but now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seeds beg and bread. Never. God is a God that's going to do everything he said he's going to do if we'll just trust him. What verse was that? 26.
26.
Let's take 27 through 29 and tie them together.
And Abraham got up early in the morning to be placed where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow. When he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt.
So look, Abraham got up early. See, Abraham knew what God said he would do. And God gonna do what he said. Lot of his two daughters were saved only because of Abraham's prayer. And sometimes, young folk, you think sometimes, you're so blessed. You say, God, I came out of that, and I came out of this, and I went through that. But you don't know. Sometimes the things you're going through and what you're living through, it's because of the relationship with somebody else that's that love you, and they praying for you. And because of the prayers of the righteous, God is blessing you. He saved your life. I mean, there's so many things that God do because of the prayers of the righteous. He said they avail much. But note the prayer warrior, urgent anticipation. Abraham rose early to see what had happened. What he saw, no doubt, struck him with the deepest sorrow and emotional strain. The whole plain was filled with a dense smoke, smothered up into the sky. A smoke so dense that it seemed to be fierce, flowing up from the huge burning furnace. A furnace so large that it seemed to cover the whole area. God remembrance of Abraham's prayer is recounted. Note that Lot was not saved for his own sake. He had not followed God, nor been a witness for God. He had lived for this world, lived for the bright lights and pleasures and money and wealth and property and position, honor and possessions of this world. He had lived a carnal, worldly, fleshly life. There was no reason for God to save and keep him upon this earth. He just was not a witness for God. In fact, he damaged and disgraced God's name. He shamed God, discredited him, and blemished the name of other believers, for he was living a hypocritical life. Lot was saved for one reason, and for one reason only. Abraham, his uncle, had prayed for him, and God heard and answered his prayer. Lot's wife, the spouse of the backslider, loved the world and suffered the judgment of God. Lot's wife was behind it. She hesitated and had fallen some distance back. Lot's wife loved Solomon and the comfortable life she had been living. She was no doubt feeling no pain of leaving Solomon and having to give up the bright lights and social life of the city, her home and possession, her friends and neighbors. She was Lot's wife. She was, after all, one of the most permanent wives in the city. Her husband being a city official, perhaps even the mayor. She was well known and liked, a member of all the major society clubs and the social clubs and the functions of the city. Perhaps she had lagged back because she questioned the warning of judgment, longed to return, and debated whether to question a lot about return. She had dropped back and was thinking about Solomon, her home, and the comfort of the life she had been living. Then it happened. She looked back, and she immediately was turned into a pillar of salt. Disobedience, there is judgment. We don't want to be turned over to a reprobated mind. We don't want to get so full in doing wrong that it starts looking like it's right. The scripture said that in the last days, that man gonna call wrong right and right wrong, good evil and evil good. And all we got to do is look around. If we just look around, all of that is happening this day. We call it wrong right. We honor a man God, little G. It won't honor the true and living God, the big G. There's something wrong with it. Our mind is so messed up that our world right now believe that it's right to tell lies, to con you, to whatever it takes to try to take advantage of you. It is every business. It done invaded every corner that you can think of. Right now, it's very few businesses of people that you'll find that a person would if they born. that you find that people are actually trying to do what's right.
Yes.
You know, they're not worried about right. You know what they worried about?
Your money.
How quick can I get that money out your pocket into mine?
Yes.
They sell you guarantees, warranties that they don't keep.
Yes.
I had a gentleman told me they done went and bought a LifeLock thing. You know, they guarantee they gonna make sure that nobody steal your identity. They covered up to $1 million. I said, you believe it? Do you think them people finna pay out $1 million if somebody steal your identity? I tell you what gonna probably happen. They gonna sell your identity, and that person that you done bought it from, they gonna go out of business and change it to the name of another business and keep right on going. Right here in where we live in. I had some work did by some people. They gave me a 10-year warranty on labor and parts. It went out 5 years later. I called the people. Daddy, they changed the name, and the daddy that was working, that was over, he went to another job and gave it to his boy. So they changed the name. That business, that don't exist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And the partner that was in there with him, he went and started him another business. I went and talked to him. He said, "But hey, that was the other business, man. Ain't nothing I can do."
Yes.
And you see, that's the kind of stuff that if you don't have a grip on the inside of you,
Come on now.
I'm talking about something on the inside of you,
You got a problem.
that'll make you act up.
Yes.
But you see, because something on the inside of her, he's on the inside of her, he said, "I got you. I'll fight you back. I'm going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. But Lord, I want to see it."
I'm talking about right now.
You know how,
I'm talking about
and the
today.
thing about it is, sometimes you don't see it. See, you cannot see when God is working on somebody at their house and they can't sleep at night. You can't see that.
Go out of business.
See, you can't see when they might lose more than what they done took from you. You can't see that. But guess what? That person can. And God can. Oh, there's no doubt. He ain't let nothing go. Unpaid. That whether it's good or bad. What, let's see. What's verse with that? 109, right? Let's hit 30 and we'll stop tonight.
And Lot went out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters.
You know what? I want you to think.
Trying to sing that fire.
First of all,
Rained out.
what did God tell him?
I'm scared to go here. I'm finna go
All
out.
right.
Yes.
He want to make a stop, but where he end up at?
Zoar. He went
All
and ended up in the
right. He
cave.
worried about money and position. He lived out the rest of his life broke with that. So there was fear. Lot and his 2 daughters had gone to Zoar, and all we know is that while there, Lot began to fear. Fear what? Did he fear the citizens of Zoar? Did they look with suspicion upon Lot and resent him, wondering if he was somehow to be blamed for the destruction of Sodom and the other cities? You know, it's something now. Everybody else destroyed. You done made it to the city and they look around, ain't nobody making with you. How you get out? Make it look like, wait a minute, you might have had something to do with it. You know, but the context seemed to indicate that he feared more judgment from God, that Zoar might also be destroyed by God. Zoar sat right in the middle of the destruction. Consequently, mass destruction surrounded Zoar. It had been a flourishing city, but now the fertile land of the city and the city that had surrounded it and provided counsel were destroyed. Zoar, wealth, and market were gone. The economic bankrupt. It was no longer a desirable place to live. God had originally planned to judge and destroy Zoar at will. Then Lot began to fear the judgment of God upon Zoar, so he fled the city. Lot's backsliding and worldly life had caused him to lose everything he had, including his family. A backsliding believer needs to fear enough to repent and turn back to God. That was humiliation. Imagine having to live in a cave after being a city official or a mayor or one of the leading cities of the world. That was life. He had lost everything, including his self-esteem and the respect of others. Worldliness and backsliding will defeat any believer and eventually humiliate him. So all this stuff that Lot was worried about, trying to hold on to, all from the beginning, even after Abraham had saved him, you remember he lost everything he had once before when the other invading armies came in. They took everything. It was God that used Abraham to go back and rescue everybody, give them their stuff back. Lot should have had sin right there to say, you know what? I'm going with you. I can see that God is with you. He got everything back, and now he went into the city, and he done became an officer in that, even though he couldn't be the mayor. And to think about it, this is what happened to a lot of rich people today. If they lose everything they have, what's the first thing they want to do? Kill themselves. Because they say they can't live like that. Well, here it is, Lot now got to live in a cave. All of the nice living that he once lived.
Caveman.
Now you're in a cave. And then, after all of that, you're going to die in shame.
More bites.
So we should think, is this stuff worth it? I mean, it's just something to think about. Is it really worth our soul?